I would like to explain of my teachers. With my teachers were going to send me to the principal's office when I told them that I was against my beliefs and that I felt uncomfortable. There is a female, which I'm not exactly sure. It isn't my religion to know what are people and what they identify or do not identify. I got in trouble one time, many times, of my English teacher, Mr. Moore. I got in trouble because I called this girl, Kenny, a girl. I got in trouble for it because I wasn't exactly sure. I never knew what it was. My teacher said I used the wrong pronoun. That's not what they identify as. I said I'm not exactly sure if they have breasts and ovaries and a vagina. And I wasn't exactly sure. I'm sure they have short hair and that's what they identify as, and their pronoun. I got in trouble for it many times, either through adult or student. I got in trouble one time for calling this girl, Kenny, a girl. I said, well, Kenny and I used the word she when I was using my assignments because we were working together. I was also in the girls' locker room. I don't like to dress that at all, and that's not okay. Well, I got in trouble for it because I did not dress out in front of other people. I didn't dress out for many reasons. One, there's male teachers inside of the girls' locker room talking to my Miss Lewis. They go to there's the girls' locker room and then there's Miss Lewis' office. Miss Lewis has her door open and then there's male teachers inside of her office. I never wanted to see that. That's why I don't dress out to PE. I was scared, I was terrified, and then, cause I was afraid of somebody staring at me, an adult male, staring at me while I'm changing. That's why I don't change. And then, it was another issue. I am in the special ed classes and I have a one-on-one aide. My one-on-one aide was Cameron, but they called him Cam. I guess I was mistaken or corrected by calling Cameron Miss Cam. My parents had always taught me that adults, a male is Mr. and their last name or their first name. Female is Miss or Mrs. if they're married and of their first name or their last name. With Cameron, I called him Miss Cameron because I saw the breast. I'm not saying that I can see what their private parts are because that would be kind of weird. I saw breast. I called him Miss Cameron. Many times, more than one time, I have been ignored by my own teachers because I called them by their wrong pronoun. I've always been ignored by calling Cameron a miss instead of a mister. I wasn't exactly sure what that was because I wasn't raised like that, so I called Cameron Miss Cam. They didn't like to call him Cameron, but it was Miss Cam. My parents taught me if you're confused, just call them by their first name. I always thought that was disrespectful. I called him Cameron.
Hey, I'm sorry your 5 minutes is up.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Thank you for sharing with
Yeah.
us.
When my daughter expressed that she should not be in these classes and that I did opt her out of these classes, she was called a bigot by her teacher and her aide. She was called intolerant, and she was also called homophobic. These are all terms that she actually didn't know until yesterday. They're not part of our vocabulary at home. And it was definitely not a setting that I wanted her to learn these terms in, and especially being called out on it just because she simply expressed that due to her Christian beliefs, this goes against her morals and this goes against her beliefs. And it was just as simple as that. At that point, a staff member told her to look at her skin color and if she felt that, I'm so sorry. If she felt that she should be discriminated against due to her skin color, and she said no, she shouldn't feel discriminated against or be discriminated against due to her skin colors. They said, well, discriminating against transgender is the same thing, which it is not. If we tell children that characteristics, ethnical characteristics or cultural characteristics, and being judged on those are the same or equal to LGBTQ, it's incorrect. It's not right. It's also not right that I emailed the teacher. I emailed Ben Wolf, who is the principal. I emailed Mr. Rivera, who is the assistant principal, on these matters, and I asked them to please let me know why. First of all, I was already upset at the fact that she was even in these classes. But more so, I was upset about her being called out on her skin color and her being called these terms that obviously we see on TV every single day, and a child should not be exposed to that type of language. I don't feel that a teacher or a staff member's personal opinion or beliefs or lack of should be considered on the clock. That's not what you guys are paying them for. That we were not paying teachers for their opinions or to share their opinions or to push their opinions or agendas on children. And this unfortunately was what my daughter went through. Mr. Ben Wolf's investigation concluded within 3 hours. And it was just basically, it didn't happen. Then how did my daughter come home explaining to me what scissoring was and asking me how two females can have and must use protection? Two biological females must use protection or else they can get pregnant. How else would my daughter come home knowing the word transphobic? And how else would my daughter come home knowing the word bigot or intolerant? That's what I would like to know. Not too long ago, you, the mayor, was at her school at Glendale High School at an event in the evening. She was very thrilled to meet you or to see you at least show up at her school. And being that you have such a personal, hopefully, tie with the school, I would hope that at least some of this, or at least some common sense, can be instilled in the staff to not treat children like this. I would also like to mention, she is in a special day class. She does have a frontal lobe brain injury that doesn't even allow her to process this. And it is not the first incident.
Okay, thank you.
What school are we talking about?
Glendale High School.
Glendale High School.
And also, and I know I passed my time, the principal, Ben Wolf, decided to turn my emails, somehow in a strategic manner, he turned my emails and rephrased everything I said as I was attacking Mrs. Kellogg, which is her teacher.